Hello, everyone. Now, I do apologize to those that I set the time. I usually set the time that I'm going to start just to kind of give you guys an idea of when I'm going to be coming on soon, because the only thing I can explain to you is like when I feel it, that's when I have to really talk about it. So it's very difficult for me to say, when I'm ready to talk, and then I'm like, oh man, I still got a whole 30 minutes to talk. It'd be that'd be too long for me. Okay. All right. So come up in here. What's up, Dennis? What up? What up? Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host. I am the talking head of SMD. My name is LJ. Now, I hope you guys, when you guys join today, I'm gonna hit you guys on some serious game today, which I usually don't go that deep for outside, the paid area for slaves, but I'm gonna hit you guys on some game, okay? And all you got to do is trust mathematics, okay? That's it. That's it. You don't even have to believe me. Believe the numbers that you punch in your own calculator, stuff like that, okay? We're going to get started in about another minute. Good morning, Yolanda. What's up, Cupcakes? I got on my Superman shirt. I feel like Superman today because I'm going to give you guys some Superman game, all right? All right, let me introduce myself. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where slaves live. Now, there's two kinds of slaves. There's unconscious slaves and conscious slaves. Unconscious slaves don't trust math, and they don't know they don't trust math, all right? Conscious slaves were once unconscious, found the channel of SMD because there is no other channel like this one on YouTube, found the channel of SMD, started trusting mathematics. They added up all their savings, added up all their debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Conscious slaves looked at that and said, oh my God, I'm in the negative. That means I'm a slave. And now they're doing whatever it takes to get out of being a slave, period, because the only way out of the debt matrix, you have to get to zero. Where do you start? Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals the number where you start. You're probably deep, deep, deep in the negative. You got to get all the way up to zero. All right. Once you get to zero, you're free because you don't owe anybody anything. Nobody owns you. You get on the other side of zero, you realize time is the most valuable thing on earth. It's not money. And you're like, oh crap, now you're going to do whatever it takes to own your time. That's what true wealth is. All right. I lived in the debt matrix for my whole entire career, 20-year college educated, 6-figure earning slave. Found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey said, basically, take the math that you learned in grade school, apply it to your finances, and you'll win with money. That's what I did. And then once I got on the other side of zero, I was like, oh shit, I was a slave the whole time. Yeah, I was a slave the whole time. So what I did was take the principles that I learned from Dave Ramsey, stripped out religion, because religion has nothing to do with mathematics. So I want it simplified for people so people can really understand it's just math. Okay. It's nothing else, make sure if it doesn't make mathematics, this is my statement. If it doesn't make mathematical sense, it cannot make financial sense. CENTS. It can't. That's what, according to the laws of mathematics. So let me give you another example about religion. Okay. People always ask, hey, while I'm getting out of debt, should I keep tithing? And a lot of people say yes, But according to mathematics, to the laws of mathematics, you have no money for tithing. If you have no money for debt, that means you don't have money for anything, because any money doesn't exist until you are out of debt. And then if the person wants to go back to tithing once they're free, feel free to donate as much money that you have to tithe with, right? In real life. Not saying don't tithe. I'm just saying tithe when you will have real money. That's it. Okay. Stripped all that out. Came up with savings minus debt, made it really simple. You can't really get mad at it. You can't really have an opinion about it. You can't get mad or have an opinion about math. So savings minus debt is simply a mathematical formula that you cannot get upset at. You know, you just can't, hey, some black person made it, some Chinese person made it. It's just math, right? Simplified everything. All right. Now here I am. I created SMD and I help people get out of debt. Look at it this way. Once you're out of debt, there's a whole different financial world that you can't see. Okay, when you're in debt, if you've been in debt all your life and you believe debt is just part of life, that's not true. Okay, if you believe debt is part of life, you believe you'll never ever pay off your student loans, that's not true. If you believe that, you're going to be stuck in a financial world that you believe it's true. It's not. There's another one. This one runs on that one. The slaves are the engine of the real one. I help you cross out of the debt matrix. And all you got to do, the door to exit the debt matrix, all you got to do is just believe math. Just trust math every time when it comes to your money. Just trust math and you'll be free. That's it. And then you just get out. I help people get here before you can start talking to people, not only on the other side, all the way up, because there's many levels to this. Okay. There's many levels. There's people well past me. How do I know it's well past me? We're living in the economy right here. Look, it's created. I didn't create it. I didn't design all of this, because it's a design. It's well designed. Okay. I didn't do it. So there's people way up there. I create the foundation. Once you come here, I create your foundation, and then you'll understand it's unlimited. No, none of these people are trying to stop you from being anything you want to be. I promise you, they're not doing anything. They're not holding you down. They're not bad talking you. That's a program. None of that is true. That's not true. Rich people, wealthy people are not evil. They're not really trying to. None of that is true. I mean, there's some people that are that way, but the truly wealthy people that understand time is the most valuable commodity on earth, those people would never do that, because why? It would be a waste of time. That would be a total waste of time. That'd be wasting time in my life. Why would I do that? That's dumb, because it's not true. This is where I bring you. Once you get north of zero, you're going to understand that you now own the time in your life. You own yourself. Until age 40, I didn't realize I didn't own myself until I freed myself. And I'm like, holy shit, I haven't owned myself all those years. Nope. That car owns you. That house owns you. Those 5 credit cards owned you. All that stuff owns you. You know that furniture you rented? Yeah. That furniture owned you. You didn't own that furniture. You know that vacation you went on anyway, even though you didn't have any money? Yeah, that vacation still owns you. Now today is Q&A Sunday, where you can ask me some questions. And so while we're waiting, I kind of put up a topic, what I was going to talk about today. Oh, I didn't put that up there. And if you guys can jump in and ask me a question anytime you wish. But while we're waiting, I'm going to just talk about the topic. FHA mortgages. If you have one, right now is the time to sell. All you got to do is run the numbers, right? This is what you got to do to convince yourself if you have an FHA mortgage and it's time to sell or not. This is what I want you to do. Pull out that mortgage paperwork and put the numbers in your calculator. See how much you're going to be paying, how long you're going to be paying it for, and how much will you pay if you go to the end of it. Just put it all in your calculator and then look at that number. Just stare at it. Just look at it. And you say to yourself, how long do you think it's going to take me to pay that off? Do you think you can pay that much off? With the job you have, do you think you can pay off that much money? Then you got to ask yourself, then what am I doing here? I don't know. I mean, I do know outside of the debt matrix, I'll tell you what it is. The house is not the asset. You're the asset. The house is nothing without you. It's just a stick building with some wood and a stove in it and some marble counter. That's it. It's just a thing. It's nothing without you, slave. You're the asset. You're probably slaves. You guys probably still don't believe me when I say this. Log into your Credit Karma. Those are all the people that own you, slave. That's it. Credit reports are nothing. Those are just slave ledgers. That's just a list of businesses that own you, slave. How do you think the stock market exists? It couldn't exist without you. You think I knew that when I was in the debt matrix? I remember, I'll tell you this. I'm gonna give you guys some game. I remember when I was in the debt matrix and I used to look at the stock stuff on TV. That shit looks so complicated. Numbers scrolling across the bottom and these graphs bouncing up and down and all these numbers and percentages. You're like, damn, you must got to be a brainiac. No, you don't. That's a trick. That stock market you guys see, it's made of you, slaves. You guys created all that stuff they're showing you on TV. That doesn't mean anything. Nothing. It's a trick. You're seeing stocks going up and down. You got to stop and ask yourself, how's it going up and down? You slaves? What are you talking about? You think Apple could exist without you? Do you think Amazon stock prices could exist without you? No, slaves. You. I laugh at that stuff when I see it on TV. I'll be like, how many slaves? There's 98% of people in the US are in debt. They don't even know they're slaves, okay? They don't even know. They don't even know that they don't even own themselves. You think they understand any of what's happening on the screens and TVs and these numbers and seeing people run around with papers in the stock market, look like they're really busy ants walking around? That's all for show, baby. That's not real. None of that is real. You know, when I see that, when they show a picture of the stock market, I'll be like, what a performance they're putting on. Wow, that's amazing. What do they say? Action just before the bell rings or something? Then they get these people up there. Hey, ring the bell. What the big fucking deal is about this stupid bell? Hey. And everybody's just clapping. Hey, what are we clapping for? I don't know. Everybody else is doing it. Let's just clap. It is the dumbest. It's so dumb. When you get out of the debt matrix, you'll see that. You'll be like, what is nothing? It's a show. Now I'm gonna hip you guys to some game right now, okay? And I was just thinking of this as I was gonna do this live today, right? Now, see this book? You see that book? Tax-Free Wealth. Okay. I always recommend this book to people because I just like the things he says in it. Okay. But I realized something that you guys don't know. Okay. And what I'm going to say about this book, you'll never hear about nobody else on the YouTube will ever tell you this. Okay. Okay. And it doesn't matter. Okay. But it's true. That's all you need to understand, that it's true. And I can prove it. I always can prove everything I'm saying, right? But I was thinking as I read this book again, because I read it once when I was in debt. And then I read it again once I was free. Okay. All right. So let me tell you something. All right. In this book, there's two things going on in this book. There's two things. There's one you can see, and then there's one you can't see. Now, slaves, as they read this book, they just comprehend. They look at the numbers he's saying, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you just do this and you save on taxes. That's one tax. In this book, there's another thing that he's explaining. It's called phantom tax. Now, the reason why it's called phantom, you can't, if you're mathematically blind, you cannot see phantom. It's only phantom to those who are mathematically blind. You can't see it because you're mathematically blind. That's the best way I can describe it. Okay, it's really very difficult to describe, but I'm doing my best. If you're mathematically blind, you can't see it. There's something else in here that makes you even more money. Okay. Okay, I'm trying my best to translate this. Okay. Who are mathematically blind? Slaves. Now follow the math. Slaves are mathematically blind. Slaves don't trust math, and they don't know they don't trust math. Okay, you're probably thinking, what do I mean by that? Okay, cool. Millions of people are calling themselves homeowners with 30-year mortgages. That is not mathematically true. If they just put in their mortgage payment minus their mortgage balance and hit equal, they can clearly see that with this mortgage payment minus mortgage balance and hit equal. And if once they hit equal, the calculator will say, I got some bad news for you. What, you're calling yourself a homeowner? Yeah, that's not mathematically true. But if you don't believe the calculator, you are mathematically blind. That's why you can't see what else is going on in this book. All right. But I'm going to have a solution for you just in case if you've read this book before. Okay. Now, here's the piece that you're never going to ever hear anywhere else on YouTube. Anybody telling you, I'm going to tell you to reread this book. All right. But differently. This is what I want you to do. Okay. Before you read it, I want you to imagine that you own everything in your life, everything. You own your house, you own your cars, you own your boats, you own your wash and dryers, everything's paid off. You owe nobody nothing. You owe nobody not even one penny. Zero. You own everything in your life. Now, as you put that in your mind, reread this book. Reread it as if you owe nobody on earth a dime. You will see who they're talking to. They're talking to slaves, yeah, because they need to know the basics, but they're also talking, these books are also talking to people that understand that money's not real. The paper money in your pocket, like if you're a slave, you got paper money in your pocket, it's not there. Now, remember, everything I'm saying is I can prove. It's by Tom Wheelwright. Rich Dad, Poor Dad's, I guess, his financial advisor. I'm not sure. Now, reread that book as if you owed nobody a dime. That will give you a peep into the world that you don't know about. This is what that brings me back to the title of the video, FHA mortgages. Okay. FHA mortgages are specifically designed for slaves because in order to sign such a contract, you have to be mathematically blind. You have to be. Now, this is what I want you to do too. I'm gonna give you some game on this too. So, because I know it's confusing because there's a lot of slave chitter chatter out there. Buy this, finance that, FHA mortgage is okay. That's just financial noise. Okay. Now, if you are ever offered a FHA mortgage, okay, this is what I want you to do. After they write it all up, but they got to write it all up before you sign. This is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. I want you to talk to whoever, the bank, real estate. It don't really matter. You go, is that the best mortgage in the United States of America? Okay. You say it just like that. Is that the best mortgage in the United States of America? Now, pay attention to their faces when you say this, okay? Because I promise you, they will never have heard anybody in their life ask them that question. I promise you, never. They'd be like, what? They also be surprised that they probably wouldn't even know that, because 9 times out of 10, the people that are giving you an FHA mortgage, they're slaves too. Guaranteed. Yeah, guaranteed. Slaves too. They will never hear anybody ask them that question. What is that? I don't know what that is. They probably have to go look it up. You know why I know they will never have heard ask that question? Because anybody that would be approved for that type of mortgage wouldn't go through slaves. They wouldn't go through slaves. You think they're going to have a slave write up their deal? They're not going to have a slave write up there. They're going to have a debt-free real estate banker, agent. Everybody's debt-free that understand the laws of mathematics. If you don't believe in the laws of mathematics, you think you're touching my money? Are you insane? You got to be insane. You know how many accountants are out there doing people's taxes and dealing with their money, and these people are paying them. If you got an accountant, if you have an accountant doing your finances and they have 20-year-old student loans, you better ask your accountant, what the fuck are you doing with 20-year-old student loans? That makes absolutely no sense. What are you doing? You're handling my money? Oh no. You're fired. You think they're going to handle your money better than their own? No, they're not. They're missing a whole piece of the puzzle, a whole piece. Sorry. This is what allows you to take your feeling. You know how when you're in the debt matrix, people always say, take your feelings out of your money, take your feelings out. But people never do it. All you got to do is that if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it has no feelings, have nothing to do with that. You're going to stop caring if other people don't trust mathematics. Why would you care if other people don't trust mathematics? Only slaves don't trust mathematics. And you got an FHA mortgage, man. All you got to do is this. You say, when they find that best mortgage in the United States of America, you say, tell them to run the numbers. And then you do a side-by-side comparison to the one they trying to get you to sign, the FHA mortgage. Do a side-by-side comparison. It's going to blow your fucking brains out. You're going to be like, what? Yeah. Oh, this mortgage? Oh, yeah, this is for people that know. They're like, if you get this mortgage, you absolutely know this is your last resort. You might be up there in age. I don't know. It's got to be even to get the best mortgage in the United States, and you understand money, this is getting a mortgage is the last resort. I want you to, it's not the first. It's the very last. And if I have to get it, it's going to be the very best one on the market. And when you walk in the bank looking for that, they're going to just run your credit report, and they're going to know that you know, because you know to even ask that question. How many slaves do you think walk in the bank and say, hey, man, I'm only going to accept the best mortgage in the United States of America? How many slaves you think say that? They walk in crossing their fingers to get any type of mortgage, so they think they can be a homeowner. They cross their fingers for the debt. They cross their fingers for it. The banks just throw all kind of PMI, this fee, that fee, this, and the slaves just go, okay, yes, I'm not going to be a homeowner. Yeah, sure you are a slave. And then they just sign on the dotted line. You guys will never pay that off, ever. You guys are the only one that doesn't know that. Right now is the time to sell. If you're in an FHA mortgage right now, sell. Slaves are on a buying frenzy. If you ever want to get out from that mistake, right now is the time to sell. Sell. Slaves are buying them up. They don't know a housing market crash because right now, I know you guys don't know, you can't see it. It doesn't matter if you can see it, it's coming. And if you are in put it this way, I promise you, if you are in a subprime FHA mortgage, when this housing market crash comes, you will never get out. I mean, you're gonna get out. You are gonna get out. But I'm saying, your hopes of ever owning a home are gone forever. They're going to be gone. Right now is the time to sell. Right, Andre. It's the last resort. It's like, damn. Sell it, man. I don't care what your friends think. Who cares what anybody says? Because I guarantee you this: everybody around you, all your friends like you, if they got FHA mortgages, they're pretending just like you. They're pretending on the outside because you probably know that on the outside, people can't really tell, right? If you're in trouble. People like us, we can see that you're in trouble. It's clear. How do I know it's clear? I just watched the news. How many people out of work? Millions. Oh yeah, everybody's faking. That's that. If millions of people out of work, the people you see on social media, they're faking. Okay, that's not real. None of that is real. For me, how I would easily find out if somebody's faking on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, I'll say, hey man, let me see your personal credit report. That will tell me everything I need to know. Everything. It'll tell me if everything is a facade. And check this out. A slave, they have no idea what I would be looking for in their personal credit report. They don't have no idea. What would he be looking for? You wouldn't even know if I told you, slave. You guys have no idea what I would be looking for on your personal credit report. You have no clue. Millions of people don't know. Millions of people do not know what I'm looking for. You guys want to stop living in that? You guys want to stop living in the debt matrix right here? This is the channel. Unlike any other on YouTube, unlike any other channel on YouTube. How many people you think can say that? How many people you think can say that? Go find another channel like this one. Go, I dare you. Go find one that talks shit, can back it up, and is always right, mathematically speaking. Is always right. How many channels on YouTube do you think can do that? None. Mom just financed the car yesterday. I was sad at first, but then I realized we need slaves. We do. You see how you did that? That's a hard pill to swallow. I got a good friend that financed a boat in 2020. I said to myself, I just got to let him go. I got to let him go. You can't do anything about it because we need slaves and it doesn't discriminate. We need slaves. When you see all your friends on social media buying houses right now, you got to sit back and think to yourself, unless they paid cash, it means absolutely nothing. And by looking at your friends that bought houses, You know, if any of them could buy those houses in cash. Do you think they could buy them in cash? No. Then it doesn't matter what they got. It's not theirs. No mortgage in the United States of America makes anybody a homeowner. None of that is mathematically true. But if you live in that world that you don't trust math, I guess. Especially if you believe you're a homeowner with a 30-year FHA mortgage. And your student loans are older than your mortgage. Let me and I'm explaining this to you. I'm gonna tell you why you have an FHA mortgage. Okay, it doesn't matter if you get upset. If it's true, it's true. The reason why you have an FHA mortgage is because your student loan is older than your FHA mortgage, right? I bet your student loan is older than all your debts, all of them, guaranteed. That's why you have an FHA mortgage. That's why. Slaves can't own, according to the laws of mathematics, slaves can't own anything. Nothing. They can't own anything. That goes against the laws of mathematics. But how many times are you on the water? Exactly. And listen, and he has a 40-hour work week job. I couldn't, you know how hard that was to say something? Oh, I was so hurt. Because it literally hurts you. It does. Because you know, you're like, God damn it. And I saw that he got it brand new. I was like, oh my God. And this crash is coming. Oh, you'll never, ever, no matter if he wakes up and tries to sell it, he will have to buy his way out of that boat. And a boat at that. How many? That narrows down how many people want a fucking boat. Oh my God. Only if you own the note, speaking alien. Only if you own the note. Exactly. If you could buy a boat in cash, that's a different story. If you bought a boat in cash, if you said, hey man, I bought this boat in cash, cool. All right. Yeah, whatever, whatever. Okay. All right. But you financing a boat. Oh my God. Just you know what I imagine? I imagine the feeling of me walking into the boat place that sells boats, sitting down and signing for the next 5 years, probably, it got to be about 5 years, on a boat at an interest rate, parked at a marina that he said he can now use an app to have his boat ready when he's heading down. I'm like, that shit is not free. And you only get 3 months. Okay, I'm thinking this is all going through my head. You get about 3 months of summer. You work 40 hours a week. So that cuts all those hours out of that summer. So you got very few days. And then it's going to depend on the weather. And then it's going to depend if it's on the weekends. Do you know how far that breaks down? If slaves knew how much they really made after you break taxes, after the income tax is taken out of your check, and then other taxes, and then all the shit they finance, if they really understood how much they took home, oh, boy, they do you slaves dirty, man. Woo, they do you slaves dirty. They do you slaves dirty. I'm here to, the younger you are to get this information, man, do you understand? You're going to kill the finance game. Anything to do with finance, you're going to kill it. You know what type of team, when you create your own business, you know what type of team you can create? All you have to do in In each segment of your business, all you have to do is put a debt-free person in that position. Because if they're debt-free, they understand the rules that the majority can't see. Especially if you get a debt-free tax person. Hey, listen, you better listen to me when I say this. Whoever your tax person is, make sure they are debt-free. You walk up to them, okay? This is how they're going to know somebody talked to you, all right? This is how you're going to know. When you ask them and say, hey, you do taxes? Yeah. And you go, are you debt-free? If they're not debt-free, they're going to think that's a weird question. They're going to be like, what? Why are you asking that question? But the person that knows, they're going to look at you like their expression is going to be like, how the fuck you know to ask me that question? Who you been talking to? They're going to ask you that. Who you been talking to? Anyway, and you just repeat, are you debt-free? If they say yes, that's your tax person. Same thing goes with an accountant, your business accountant. Are you debt-free? Because they see something that the majority can't see because they're mathematically blind. They can see regular math, okay? But there's another, I'm not going to say another math, another another side of things, whatever. I don't know the exact name. It's another side of things that they can see that all the other accountants, tax people can't see. I promise you, okay? Everybody on your team dealing with your money must be debt-free because they understand the rules. There's no tax evasion. There's no making up stuff to get tax breaks. No pretending like you did this and you didn't really do it. No, you say, this is the way it's done. You understand that, right? Yes. Everybody's on the same page. Your whole, man, I'm telling you. And you better, as I'm thinking about this to you guys, as I'm thinking about this, right? There is no way Amazon, Apple, all these big companies, there is no way they don't got people like me in their business. There is no way they don't. There is no way. Now when you're thinking people like me, people that understand money and how it really works, you better believe they have people like me. How do I know this? They're billion-dollar companies. There's no way they have people up there that don't understand the way money like I do. There is no way. They couldn't. That would be impossible. They couldn't do that without it. You have to have, I can imagine, because okay, listen, slaves, you guys, this is the reason why this is why they can do things that you can't see. You don't trust math and you don't know you don't trust math. So they do things that you can't see. When they do ads to you, it's I can't describe it. Okay. I don't know if there's a word for it. All right. If not, I'm going to start making up my own words. What's up, Alex? Put it this way. You come see me. You say, LJ, I want your service. I create your plan for you. And you're going to thank me for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. You're going to thank me for the rest of your life. Yes, the rest of your life. Yes, you will. I think I am, Wayman. Oh, Wayne. No, I thought it was Wayman. Wayne. Because it really doesn't matter. I mean, it does, because if there's a word for it, somebody that knows more than me is going to have to tell me what that word is, because I don't know what it is. If not, I'll just make it up. And then later down the line, maybe somebody that knows more than me will correct me. But right now, I'm going to make it up. We'll put it in the alien dictionary. Oh. You'll know, put it this way. You'll know, especially if you know this at a young age, you will know that it will be very important the only thing to ever finance is a house when you're in your 20s. And that's the only thing you do it because for two reasons: your age And the younger you are, you probably have less money or whatever, right? But you pay that house off fast. You only accept the best mortgage in the United States of America. That's the only one you'll accept. Get in there. You don't finance anything. You just pay that house off. You pay that house off. Check this out. You will have just eliminated the largest monthly expense that you would have had for the rest of your life. There is no stock better than a paid off house. None. This stock, a paid off house, will pay you dividends every single year. What is that? Everything that millions of people are paying every single month, you won't. That's a dividend. That's called phantom income. Slaves can't see that. Do you understand? The younger you get this, and if you have a job, no debt, and a paid off house, you will be able to see how much money you really need to make. How hard you really need to work. You won't have no stress. You'll sleep well every night. You'll stay out of bad relationships because you won't date slaves. You definitely won't have biological children by a slave. You won't do that. That won't happen. You're going to save yourself divorce court, child support. I hate that motherfucker, this baby daddy, blah, that. None of that will be in your life. None of it. Why? You won't date slaves. Your pool goes from this big to this big. And if you don't get from this pool, you just won't. When you get out of debt, there's nothing outside of this pool to date. There's nothing outside of here. I don't care what they look like, how fine she is, how fat her ass. None of that will matter. It won't matter. No, I don't date slaves. Sorry. Oh, can we date? You got $100,000 in student loan debt? Yeah. No, we can't. What are you going to do about that $100,000 in student loan debt? Oh, I don't know. See you later. I don't date slaves. That's what you're going to say. I don't date slaves. If you believe you'll never pay off your student loan debt, you're going to die a slave. This is where you get the harsh truth. You're going to die a slave. Why? Because somebody's going to own you until you're dead, which is going to be your student loans. Isn't that clear? That seems clear to me. And I promise you, once you realize that you're a slave, I promise you, I don't care the amount of your student loan debt, you'll figure out a way. But first, you must realize that you're a slave. If you don't believe you're a slave because you're driving a nice car, you got a great career, your marriage is great, you're going on vacations every year, but your student loan debt is sitting there, it doesn't matter because you're just a slave driving a nice car, slave living in a nice house, slave with a nice career. You're still a slave. It doesn't matter what your clothes are wearing. Doesn't matter how much gold you have on. You're just a slave wearing all that stuff. That's it. Somebody owns you. Period. Do you want to die like that? Mm-mm. But if you've never known what it feels like to not be owned, I don't know how else to express it to you. I don't know how to express it to you. There is nothing like it. Nothing. The keys to better health, I'm telling you what they are. Less stress, more rest. Two things slaves can't do. Why? Because they're always working, because they have debt. Debt causes stress. They can't sleep, and they're always stressed. Slaves don't know they can get rid of those two things. You don't have to. You can sleep and you can get rid of stress. That's true. You don't have to live with it. Instead of, listen, slaves don't know this. Instead of taking medicine for it, remove it. If it's a person, you tell that person goodbye. You leave. I don't care who it is, family, friends. I don't care who is the cause of the stress. I say goodbye. That's not my problem. And then you find out which ones, and then you get to yourself. That's going to be the hard one when you get to yourself. You got to accept a lot of things. That's what I had to do. I had to accept a lot of things. Sure did. That's the only way I could be right here today in front of you guys talking. I had to look in the mirror and say, all right, oh yeah, this didn't work with all these women. Oh, it wasn't all their fault. I was the common denominator. Once I said, I swear to God, once I said I was the common denominator, everything changed for me. Everything changed for me. All I had to do was look at myself. Now I'm free. Do you want that? You want to stop? You want to stop looking for answers on other relationship channels? Looking at a particular person, look and see if they have the answers. The only person that has the answer is you. When you see it, when you see a channel like that and they got crazy thousands of views, don't think that's just because it's pop. That's how many slaves there are looking for answers. That's nothing big. I promise you. That's not like what you think it is. It's not. Oh wow, everybody's talking. What are they talking about? What are they saying? Is it positive? What is it? What is it? Something that's somebody else can use, or what is it? Nothing. It's nothing. Once you get out of debt, you won't care what slaves' opinions of you are. You won't care what they say. You won't care who they think is a high value person. Are they in debt? Yeah, they're just a high value slave. That's it. Whatever high value means to slaves, I don't know what that means to slaves. All I know, to them, it has something to do with a career and six figures. That's because I keep hearing that thrown around like that has anything to do with it. It has nothing to do with nothing. That doesn't mean anything. How much money a person makes means absolutely nothing. A slave is a slave. A slave can be a doctor, a lawyer, a person on TV. They can be all that. Without a constructive code of thought, speech, and actions, you are a slave to deceit and confusion. And what he stated right there, that's a program. Everything he said is a program slaves are running. You guys think it's like that, especially when it comes to money. You think a person, if they're making money in a nice career, they are somehow worth more than a person that doesn't have a nice career and makes less money. No, that has nothing to do with anything. Slaves believe if they have a good credit score, they're somehow good with money. No, they're not. That's not, no. A credit report is nothing more than a slave ledger. An owner's ledger. Those are all the people that own you. What's the big deal about a credit report? To see your owners? They just give you slaves a score when you pay them back their money. If you pay them back their money on time, they give you this score. If you don't, they give you that score. That's it. It's nothing more than that. But slaves believe that if somebody's got a good job, good career, and good credit, they must understand money. No, they don't. Because none of those things that you described have anything to do with money. Nothing. Nothing at all. You'll go back to those channels and you'll be like, you'll hear everything that you couldn't hear when you were in debt. Like I couldn't even, it's crazy, man. I go to some of these, man. Some people actually go to another person and let that person talk bad about them. That shit just blows my mind. That shit blows. You go to another person on a channel in front of people and let them talk about you, and you just sit there and just accept it. That you have no idea what that says on so many levels. What it says on just, and then you see the people in the comments. It's like, oh hell no, that would never happen to me. No, this is why, and this is why it's a superpower. Because I swear to you, I literally don't care what slaves think or feel, especially about me. I don't care what slaves think or feel at all. But if they turn that towards me, I don't care if you're a slave. I don't care how you feel about me. So what? So you're a slave. It's man. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I be looking for it. You know, that's ego. I try to keep that part out of it because I know any slave that tries, especially an unconscious slaves have no idea they are totally unarmed. They have no idea. They have no idea they're coming to the ring, coming to the shootout with no bullets in their gun. None. Even if you told them, hey, you know, before you get up there with LJ, you got to put some bullets in your gun. They would think they have bullets in their gun. They sure do. They would think that. Even if somebody told them they don't, they would say, yes, I do, and go up there. This is why it would be very difficult to be invited on other financial channels because it would be very detrimental for them if they and not saying that their business is not legal. I'm just saying putting me up there would be very detrimental because everything I'm saying I can prove with math, right? And a lot of people would wake up and that would be bad for business. So I personally wouldn't want to do that. But if they invited me on such a show, knowing they've watched my videos, hey, it's on them. Fighting bears with their bear. I know, right? Uh, man, if you really want to leave, if you want to leave that world, man, I'm telling you, I got the answer for you. Are you going to get this answer anywhere else? I don't know, man. Because that would be ego to say I was the only one that knows, and 100% ego because I'm in the very system that was designed by somebody, some team. I don't know, family. Who knows? I don't know. Somebody designed this. Somebody designed this. I promise you, somebody did. I mean, that shit. It's like physically. It's been physically designed and psychologically designed. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You want to be called a financial genius? Come here. Start right here, man. If you're doing, let me put it this way: if you're doing anything in the financial sector and you're in debt, come see me. Come see me. I'm gonna say it one more time. If you're doing anything financially related and you are in debt, come see me. I will change your life. You will dominate in every area. If you're working in a job, if you're in a business, you will dominate. And they will not even know how you're doing it because they won't be able to see it. Because if they're in debt, they will be mathematically blind to it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how they feel about it. Doesn't matter. Come see me. I don't care what field you're in. But I say this, if you're in the area of taxes, okay, if you are in the area of taxes, you do something related taxes, and you're in debt, come see me ASAP. Okay? Anything something to do with taxes and you're in debt, come see me. I will change your whole world. I will change it. Come see me. Any questions? Sometimes I think I get up so amped up. Sometimes, you know what's crazy? This is what's humbling, it's like lately, the last few clients I've talked to on the phone, they always start out with starstruck. And that really catches me by surprise when people say that to me. It's like, oh man, I'm kind of starstruck right now. I'm like, me? Because I guess if you've never experienced people looking a certain way at you and feeling it, even though you guys express it to me, okay, and I'm still humbled by it, it still amazes, especially when I hear people say I've changed their lives. It's total strangers, it's still I don't know, man, it's an amazing feeling when a total stranger will say that, or a total stranger will stop whatever they're doing in the day and text me or write me. Man, I want you guys to understand how that is, because the reason why I look at it that way, because I know time is the most valuable thing on earth now. So when I see somebody do that happens to me, I recognize the time that they used to reach out to me or text me or even donate to me, right? That they had to stop, think, okay, why am I donating? Okay, I'm donating this to LJ because of XYZ or whatever reason, and they do it. Man, the strongest thing I suggest, especially young people, first, before you try to own anything, own yourself. Own yourself. Own yourself, okay? That's all the business. Look at your slaves don't look at themselves as a business. The outside businesses do, but slaves don't look at themselves as businesses. Own the business of yourself first, and you will understand how it all works. Okay, and remember this. This is the last thing I'm gonna tell you to remember, okay? And maybe you'll understand it and maybe you won't, okay? But out of all the numbers, 0 is the most powerful of them all. 0. Why is that? Because it has no opposite. The whole universe, everything had man, woman, dog, female, everything in the universe damn near has an opposite except 0. That's how powerful 0 is. It has no opposite. 0. That's where you must get. That's where if you want to be free, that's where you got to be. You got everything in your life got to start at 0. Everything. You, the business of you. Are your books balanced? The business of you. Are your books balanced? No? Then don't worry about any books outside of you. If your personal books are not balanced, don't worry about that. Anytime you finance something, that's business. If you take that business personally, that's your problem. Do you understand? That's your problem. That's the business that you're dealing with. They're looking at it as business. So you always make sure, is the business of you in business? You hire, just like I said earlier, you hire an accountant. Is the business of themselves in business? Hey, accountant, you got student loans? Yeah, then you're not in business. Hey, tax person. Hey, tax attorney. Are you in debt? Yeah. You got student loans? Yeah. Then you're not in business either. At least not in a business with me, because you're not even taking care of your own personal business. Think about it. If a person doesn't take care of their own business, you think they're going to treat a business outside of themselves better than the business of themselves? The answer is no. Mm-mm. Are you going to hire me? The answer is no. Why? You got student loans, slave. You're a slave. Why would I have a slave part of my business? Does that make any sense? That makes absolutely no sense. There are areas of business for slaves. Yeah, there are, but not in the areas I'm talking about. If they're connected to me, they're not a slave. I wouldn't hire a business accountant as a slave business accountant. That makes no sense. This is what I do. I help the business of you Once I help the business of you, anything outside of you, you will kill it. Because you will do the exact same. When you get outside and you get ready to hire an accountant, blah, 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 they will all be debt free. Personal credit reports will be a requirement to be seen at least every 6 months. That will be a requirement. Hey, I don't care if you understand. Are you ready to do it? Yeah. Okay. Sign here. You better believe it. And you will kill whatever business, man. Don't let somebody somebody like a rookie or some ball player, they come across my channel, man, they're gonna find me. And once they find me, that's it. That will be it. Imagine if I got this is what I picture. Imagine if I got a college kid bound for the NBA, the whatever, one of the leagues. I'm not really a sports person, but anyway, one of the leagues, right? And they come across me and I teach them how money really works. And then when they're brought into the whatever league, they will be brought in with this knowledge. They will know who not to trust, who's talking shit, who's pretending, who's trying to take their money, because they will be able to identify slaves easy. How do you identify slaves? You identify slaves by the ones that don't trust math, and they don't know they don't trust math. Who are they? People that believe their homeowners with 30-year mortgages. People who finance cars for 84 months. Those are unconscious slaves. They don't know they're slaves. That's why how do you know? They're financing cars. They're financing things that go down in value. They think they're homeowners when they're not. They're unconscious. They don't know that. That's how, and they have this knowledge as they go through. Oh, man. Man. That's one of my goals right there. If I come across a rookie coming out of college, they come across this channel and they know they're about to get drafted. Oh, they will be wondering, how did this kid know how did he know this? They will be wondering, hey, who's your parents? What's your parents do? They'll be like, how do you know that? They will not have a clue. But they will know, put it this way, they will know he or she has been talking to somebody. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Who have you been talking to? Who somebody's been talking to you. You've been watching some videos or something? Who is that? And then they're going to come to me and they're going to be like, oh shit, he knows. Yep, I know. Sure do. Yes, I do. I don't know how much I know, but I know. I know enough to know. Let's just put it that way. And just to make sure it's clear to everybody, I'm not against the system. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's hurting the financial system. I don't think it favors anybody. It just favors those who trust mathematics. That's it. If you don't trust math, the financial system doesn't trust you. That's it. Nothing more. You know what I think too? When you step outside the debt matrix, I think, and this is bad. Okay. I think when they throw out student loan forgiveness, I think a lot of it is just to see how many of you guys will beg for it. It kind of tests the grip. Because let me tell you something, they're never going to do that. Okay. They're never going to forgive student loan debt. Stop thinking about that. It's not going to happen. Okay. It's never going to happen. The only way to get out of student loan debt, you must pay it back. Because if you can bankrupt student loan debt, All slaves would do that. Do you understand? They would go to school and then file bankruptcy. Do you know what that would do to the economy? No, slaves. They're never going to do that. You have to pay them off. Mm, mm. I was thinking about how long I kept my student loan. I kept my student loans for 10 years. Making six figures. Mm, mm, mm. 10 years making six figures. You know what I could have did with that much money in 10 years? Do you know what I could have did with that much money in 10 years? I could have paid my student loans off in year one. Sure could have. Year one, but I kept them for 10. Take away and give them homes. Oh, that would be, it's the same thing pretty much. But they can make more money off. Oh, they can make more money off the homes. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. My dad just helped my younger sister, who was just out of high school, a VA loan with no. Just out of high school too. Oh my God. I was a little jealous because he didn't help me coming out of high school. Thank God he didn't help you. Oh my God. Just out of high school. God damn, just starting to ride off in the debt matrix early. And laugh my ass off because the government can't get a refund on the knowledge you learned at school. Sure can't. They can't get that back. Sure can't. Pay them off with credit cards, then file bankruptcy. That's called fraud. Okay. And I want you to understand something, Wayne. When you say something like that, I want you to understand millions of other slaves think the exact same way. They all think that. They all think when they think of this, oh, I'll just use credit cards and pay it off. Well, slaves, all they got to do is see what you've been doing, right? That's called fraud. It's going to say you use this credit card to pay off these student loans, and then you go file for bankruptcy. That's fraud. Millions of slaves do that. Okay, they all do that. Think they're doing something new. They expect that, slaves. That's expected. I promise you, that's expected. Okay, don't do anything illegal. Just get out of it legally. Okay, don't do anything illegal because you don't want anything that's going to just knock you off the path of being free. Okay, you just don't want to do that. Bait and switch, take away student loan and give them homes. They can't take back the knowledge, but yeah, they but it's college is a business, and it's a money maker. Yeah, it's just a business, man, and it's that I just can only imagine the profit off that money. That's money that's guaranteed. That's never going away. College loan debt is never ever going away. I don't know what family you got to be in to be part of that kind of money. That's a whole different. Yeah, that's a whole different level, man. What's up, Randy woman? Yeah, if you want to, you just want to get out of that world. Now is the time because it's the beginning of the new economy. Okay, the way things worked before 2020, that's gone forever. That's never coming back. The way those things were done, jobs, the salaries people were making, that stuff is done. This new economy is an employer's economy. Okay, the employers call the shots now, and business owners. Okay, but I'm gonna just stick with the big companies. Okay, I'm just sticking with big companies and employees. Right? It's a business. It is an employer economy right now. The new economy is going to be about delivery, because everything's being delivered. Everything, Amazon has set the blueprint, and if you don't follow, you die in business. That's it. You don't follow it, you're dead. That's it. Because here's the reason. Now that big companies, due to the coronavirus, now that big companies have sent everybody home, they know all those people can be at home. They don't need big buildings anymore, because everybody's at home using their own electricity and water and health care and insurance. If they fall and slip, it's their own damn fault because they did it at home, blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to switch them from W-2 to 1099, just like Amazon. Okay. Well, so they will all become contractors, where you're all responsible for your taxes and your insurance, and use your own vehicles. They don't have to have cars anymore. There goes the expense for that. Car insurance, there's expense for that. You guys will be responsible for it all. So since you guys will be at home, working from home, doing everything from home, that means all deliveries will now be going to homes instead of businesses. So if they're going to homes instead of businesses, that means they're going to need more people to deliver. And then once since people are going to be working 24 hours a day, since they've been working at home, some will be a night shift, some will be swing shift. You can have all the shifts with people at home. They just work those hours at home. That means they're going to need pretty much deliveries for 24 hours a day. That's where those jobs, and how much you think those jobs are going to be paying? Minimum wage. The more hours you work, the more money you make, but that's about it. And if you don't like it, they got 1 million people waiting to replace you. This is why it's an employer's market. Unless you get out of debt and own yourself, this is the exact time to do it. Get out of debt right now and own yourself while the economy's early. Once you get out of debt, you'll see how the new economy works, and you'll create a business. That's how it works. You'll know who to hire, the right people to hire, all that. Sure is. It's global. You no longer have a privileged place. You will have to compete with the whole world. Oh, yeah. See, that's my problem. And Andre always catches it. I keep sticking my brain to the United States when this new economy is global. Let me stop making you think that it just has something to do with us. It's the entire world. Everything has changed. See, this is why I'm still breaking through barriers, because I'm still not programmed to think global. I always think United States, United States. Why am I never once saying, why am I only thinking the United States when I know there's a world of other continents out there? That doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't. Mm-mm. Why are you thinking like that, LJ? Because I've been programmed to think that way. If you don't wake up, if you're carrying student loan debt, when it comes September, when it comes September, or whenever they put those student loans back, when they start them back up and then put them back on your credit report, that's when the ball is going to start rolling. That's it. That's the ball right there. When they put those student loan debts back on your credit report, they let you guys go into a frenzy and digging yourselves way deeper in. Oh, my credit score is higher. My debt to ratio is lower. I'm being approved for all this debt. No, you're not. Mm-mm. When they put those student loan debt back on there, ooh, that's when the ball starts to rolling. That's when it is. September. I bet you like, I bet you like Elon Musk. He probably pull all his money out in August out of Bitcoin. He's gonna pull all his money out in August. Because you guys don't know what's coming. I mean, you guys know in September, the president said in September, those student loans, you guys are going to have to start paying those again. You guys are not ready today. You most definitely not ready today. You won't even be ready come September. The only one that don't know that is you. Then you're gonna find out you're not a homeowner. No, you're not. Yep, that's correct. You couldn't afford that car. No, you couldn't. This is the first time it's global. Yes, it is. When you hear people when you hear other channels compare 2008 to 2020, you better turn them off quick. Turn them off. Turn them right off. You think, what does 2008 have to do with a worldwide killer virus? Nothing. Why are you talking about 2008? Was there a killer virus in 2008? No. Then why the fuck are you talking about it? That doesn't make. You're a slave. There is no comparison. That's why you guys don't know what's coming. As soon as those student loans come back on this, that's when the ball's going to start rolling. That's when it starts to rolling, because slaves are not going to be able to afford any of the shit that they just finance right now. Everybody outside of owning a house is nervous, because guess what? The slaves, the last thing that they will let go is the house. Banks know that. They're not going to let go of they live first. They're going to let go of the cars first. They're going to stop paying the credit cards first. All those people are going to lose, but not the bank. The bank loses nothing. When you're done paying the mortgage, you get out. And you get to take all your shit with you that got you kicked out in the first place. You get to have all that bullshit. The bank don't want none of that bullshit. They don't want none of that depreciating garbage. You guys do, slaves. Prior, there were some nations without significant debt. That just makes sense, Andre. So come September, this is why they pulled. This is why they took it off credit reports. I thought that was the weirdest shit. I would go into clients' credit reports and I'd be like, didn't you tell me you had student loans? They said, yeah. I said, I don't see it. They're like, I don't know. Nobody had an answer for me. That's the answer. That's when the ball's going to start rolling. Come August, Elon Musk is going to pull his motherfucking money out of Bitcoin and it's going to fucking tank. And all other people that know, along with Elon. And then Elon's going to take all that money and fund what he really wants to do. Outer space. Elon's trying to go outer space. You think he give a fuck about Bitcoin? He's going to outer space. Oh, slaves, man. Oh, they do you guys so dirty. Oh, they do you so dirty. Oh, my God, they do you so. No, let me stop saying that. You do yourselves dirty. I got to stop saying, I got to use the right words. No, it's so well designed that you do it to yourselves. They're not doing anything to you. T says, I'm paying off my student loans. I owe about $5,000. What if I can't get it paid off by September? That September means nothing. Just keep paying them. The date of if you're paying off your student loans now, don't worry about the date of September. Just keep paying them. That date has nothing to do with you. Okay. That date only applies to people who are not paying their student loans. Okay. And financing shit. Also, eviction moratorium. Oh my God. Hey, Andre, you did. Oh my God. I didn't even. Oh my God. September's it. I forgot all about that. Oh, you guys. Oh my God. You guys don't even know. Oh, student loan debt moratorium. Oh, mm, mm, mm. September's the date. I mean, September's the month. Mm, 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 mm. You low down, dirty PCA. You. Mm. You could have told somebody in 30 years. John Gillard says it's about to be crazy. People are going into more debt right now. They sure are. People are buying up stuff now because they got these stimulus checks and going to, according to plan. That's why they call stimulus checks, and going into more debt and more debt. It's crazy. They're taking stimulus debt and putting down payments on cars and stuff. It's crazy to see before. It's amazing, isn't it? But isn't it magnificent to watch when you just sit back? Don't take a moment to sit back. And don't judge slaves, okay? Don't judge them. If they knew math, they would not be doing the things they're doing. That keeps you from judging them, okay? And that'll keep you from saying, "Oh, you're stupid. You're dumb for doing that." No, they just don't trust math. That's it. There's nothing really. They all got calculators. You don't even have to know math. Everybody has a calculator app on their phone. There's absolutely no excuse. Just sit back and just watch them. You just watch how they do it. Okay, we're going to pay. It's like a machine. We're going to give them money, not enough money to pay off anything. So they will take the money and then they will invest in some bullshit investment or cryptocurrency and start buying stuff. And then they'll just do this. And you just watch them. You just watch it. And the slaves, they'll do it. They'll do exactly what they're doing. Didn't we say they would do that? Yeah, they're slaves. They don't know money doesn't exist. Slaves don't even know money doesn't even exist. Put it this way. If slaves don't know paper money doesn't exist, and check this out. I want you guys to understand something. The government tells them that money doesn't exist right in their website. They tell them, they say, "Hey, slaves, you see this $100 bill? Yeah, it costs us 19.6 cents to make. It's not really worth 100." They tell them that. Look. You think a slave is going to turn to him and say, well, why did you write 100 on it? They wouldn't have any answer for it. It's like, I don't know. We just felt like writing 100 on it this time. That's all. Sometimes we write a 20 on it. Sometimes we write a 50 on it. I don't know. You just got the one with 100 on it. I don't know. Slave, get out of here. But they tell them right there on the website, you think slaves care? You can show a slave, hey, slave, look how much they make. Look how much it cost them to make money. You see that $100 bill? Yeah, they made $99.80 profit off that $100 bill. They made it for 20 cents. Is that true? Yeah, it's right there on the government website. What do you mean? Is it true? There it is. Now you think about that. Isn't that that's beautiful to me? That's like when I look at that, I think, wow, that is absolutely amazing. So you know what I did? I took a snapshot of it and I showed two of my friends. I said, "Hey, what is this? When I show you this, what does that mean to you?" "Oh man, they have overage and they do something." They start making up shit. They don't. None of what was coming out of their mouth was true. They were just making up shit for the reason. I said, "Can you explain that? Tell me what you think when you see that they made a $100 bill under 20 cents and we think it's 100. What does that mean to you?" "Oh, I don't know. Blah blah blah." Just slave explaining. That is absolutely, hands down, give respect, powerful programming. That's just amazing. They have to draw in as many slaves as possible. And I get it. The new economy starting. I get it. Totally get it. They need enough slaves that are going to last at least 80 to 100 years. They need the slaves to last that long because nobody really knows how the next economy is going to shift, but the basis will always be on the same principles, math. It doesn't matter how the economy evolves into, it will always be based on mathematics, no matter what it turns into. So what the economy evolves into is really irrelevant for two reasons, because it will always be based on mathematics, and guaranteed there will always be slaves that don't trust math and don't know they don't trust math. So it doesn't matter what it evolves into because it's going to be always based on that. But what Andre just said to me, man, I didn't even think about that. September that's when the ball is going to start. I was wondering when it was going to start. September. Moratorium ends. Student loan debt's going to go back on those credit reports. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. You guys don't understand. That's going to be serious business. Serious business. Mm, mm, mm. He's going to leave us here and create his own coin on Mars. Mars coin. Mars coin. Slaves don't even realize the banks came up with cryptocurrency, okay? You guys, if you guys think cryptocurrency is against the banks, you have been programmed. If you, or put it this way, and if my statement is true, it doesn't matter how you feel about it. Okay? The banks came up with cryptocurrency. The reason why you believe in cryptocurrency is because you have student loans, right? Now, if what I just said is true, it's true. You have to figure out what I mean. Just because you have student loans, what does that have to do with anything? All you got to do is do the math. This is what you got to do so you can understand, all right? Because I know most of you still don't get it. This is what I want you to do. And I want you to open up your calculator and put these numbers in with your own finger. And then with your own finger, I want you to hit equal. Okay. You put in the amount of money that you invested in Bitcoin. Okay. Put that amount in there minus your total student loan debt and then hit equal. Okay. Math says that's how much money you had to invest in Bitcoin. Okay. Hit equal. Okay, let me say it one more time. Put in the amount of money that you invested in Bitcoin minus your total student loan debt and hit equal. That's how much money you have to invest in Bitcoin. Now, okay. Now, if you don't believe the number on the calculator, that's why you can't see that banks invented cryptocurrency. That's why you can't see it. Slaves are mathematically blind, because if you don't believe the calculator, you're mathematically blind. If you really believe you've invested in cryptocurrency, any cryptocurrency, mainly Bitcoin, while having student loan debt, you are the Bitcoin. Do you understand? You're the Bitcoin. You are the cryptocurrency. It doesn't matter what it is, Litecoin, this and that coin. And while you're gazing at cryptocurrency and seeing that watching it climb, once you get to the top of the hill, check this out. You know what the top of the hill is going to be? Probably around August. And you're going to notice that whoa, it peaked. Why is it sitting here? Because it's about to fall. When the moratoriums come back on, oh, wow. Moratoriums, student loan debt come back on. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to start pulling their money in September. They're going to be like, oh, shit, I can't pay anything. Oh, that's right. I got some cryptocurrency. It's been climbing. Too late, slaves. Too late. It's going to crash in August. And then come September, when those moratoriums and student loan debts come back on, you ain't have no money to pull anything. Nothing. It's going to be gone. Man, you can see that shit coming a mile away. Not when you're in debt. Come September, pay attention to when September hits, pay attention to all the channels that you see on YouTube. Pay attention to them. Pay attention to all the social media sites. All the people that have been flossing like they've been having a care in the world. They're in a brand new house. They look like they're living it up. Check back with them in September. Starting in September. It probably won't kick in until October, November, but that's what I'm telling you. September is when it starts. Just watch. Just watch. Congratulations, John Guillory. Congratulations. I mean that for sure. Shout out to John Guillory with $5 super chat. Salute, LJ. Thanks for the cold, hard truth. You're welcome. You are very welcome. It says in the article, extended to September. Oh. What is extended? The moratorium or the student loans? Which one's extended? They're really pushing. They are really. And when you guys see dates pushed, I want you guys to understand something. When dates are pushed, I know it seems like help, but for some reason, they need to make more slaves. So they're pushing it back to December. We need a little more time to make more slaves. So they push the date back to December. So if that's the case, the true start, it has to be January of 22. It has to be. So that means this year, 21, it started in 20. 21 is to work out the kinks. Work out the new adaptions or whatever. I don't know how to describe that. And then 22 is going to be the official start date. So if you're in debt right now is the time to get out of debt. Right now. Right now. If you're out of work and you lost your job because of COVID and you got debt that will take you more than 10 years of your life to pay off, you go get a lawyer and go get a Chapter 7 ASAP. Chapter 7 ASAP with a lawyer. You want to make sure everything is done right. Everything's done right. Get a good lawyer. Go interview 3 lawyers. See which one, because trust me, there's desperate lawyers in debt, okay? Try your hardest to listen if they're speaking debt, okay? Try your hard to listen because you probably don't have the courage enough to say, are you debt-free right now, right? Just listen if they're speaking debt. Pick the lawyer that sounds like he's really just doing it for you. I mean, he's getting paid, but he's still doing it because he wants to help you, okay? There's a difference. Just like me. You know I'm here the way I sound, but you know I'm here to help you, okay? Get out of debt ASAP, right now. Right now. The order prohibits residential landlords nationwide from evicting certain tenants through March, 21st. Okay, so what was it, the December one, and what is that? Because I didn't read the article. Andre says, and 4th wave of COVID hits in the summer. Spring break super. Oh. That's why they allow them to do it. So they can say, hey, look, we got to shut it down because the spring breakers they spread it more. I mean, they just, oh my God. Yeah, put it this way. This year, from my personal opinion, this year is to create a massive amount of slaves, work out the kinks of the new economy. And if you can see it during this time, get out of debt. Get out of debt. $300 child credit starts. Oh, they're giving even more money? There's still more checks coming? I'm so glad I kept paying. Yeah, that was right now is the best time to do it. You pay it down fast. No interest was accruing. This is the time to do it. But I heard if you're behind and you try to pay down your debt now and you're behind, they're going to make you pay off that. They're going to make you start with that interest that you didn't pay. Okay. If you're behind, that's what I heard. All the timing is there in your face. Sure is, man, Andre. It's all in your face. So 21 is just the 21 is the year to let the slaves buy as many houses as possible. Yeah. By removing that, if they, I will not be surprised if they push that September date of the student loan debt to December. I'd be surprised if they don't do that. That way they can get slaves deeper in debt because of Christmas, especially Christmas time. Slaves it doesn't matter if they don't have any money, they will refuse to not have Christmas. So they will have Christmas. LJ, but it isn't what every business does. We don't sell products for the cost it takes to get them. No, that's true. I mean, when I say these things, I talk one way to slaves, but you guys know what I mean. All right. I'm just saying in a way that so they can understand it, so they can better understand it. Oh my God, I forgot about those loans. All that stuff, let me tell you guys, all that stuff this year is a slave building year. It is. They're just making millions of slaves. Can you imagine how many slaves you can make in 1 year? With houses, they're going to help sustain the housing market crash. Not sustain the economy, but the bank's losses by them. Even when the housing market crashes, those guys are still going to be paying the same mortgage through the housing market crash, with their house worth and their house is worth half. How do they expect people to pay back the back rent? They don't. I promise you this. The bank already knew who would be able to pay back the back rent and who not. The people that are always late on their mortgage, always getting late fees, there is no way those people could ever pay back 6 months of back rent. The banks already have the information. That goes for businesses. That goes for anything. If you're late paying back something all the time and you're accruing late fees, they know you're not going to be able to pay back 6 months of back rent. You don't even have 1 month. You don't even have 1 month of rent in your account. How in the hell are you going? They know that. Goodbye. You're going bye-bye. How does it turn into debt, or is it forgiven from the virus? Does what turn into debt? They don't expect them to pay. Sure don't. They already knew that. Check this out, you guys. Half of you guys with subprime mortgages, they knew you couldn't even afford the house when you came to them. If you accepted a subprime mortgage, you don't have any money. You are the only one that does. If you have an FHA mortgage, there is no way you're going to be able to pay 6 months back rent because you couldn't afford the mortgage in the first place. How do I know that? You have an FHA mortgage, and FHA mortgages are for slaves. When the housing market crashed, guess who's the first people going? Subprime mortgages are going. You guys are first. Because you don't know. You don't know you couldn't afford the house in the first place. You guys it doesn't matter how long you've been living there. If you've been living there 20 years with an FHA mortgage, you are first to go. Subprime mortgages, goodbye. You guys that got rental properties with FHA mortgages, see you later. You were never landlords anyway. It doesn't matter. You were the landlord, but you were the landlord for the bank, not yourself. The owner, landlord, whatever you want to call yourself. What's up? Wall says, "Hey LJ, did you think of the Cash for Clunkers program?" No. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. Would landlords apply for a credit for the tenants they couldn't pay? I don't know. Not sure about that. Shout out to the Geek Surgeon, $5 super chat. LJ, I am going to schedule a consultation. Okay, cool. I need your help. 25K, no problem. No problem at all. There's my website. And trust me, you must be young. You said 25,000, you must be young. Because that's nothing. Clock is ticking. You're right, Andre. Clock is ticking. Scammer says, if the United States is in massive trillions of dollars of debt, does it make the country one big melting pot for slavery? Mm-mm. Because everybody's not in debt. They tell you the amount of debt. Hey, it's trillions of dollars in debt. But you say, does that mean everybody in the United States is 100% in debt? Mm-mm, we didn't say that. We didn't say that. That's what they would say to you. We didn't say everybody was in debt. We're just telling you how much debt there is. That's all. That's it. It's all how you listen to it. You just got to listen to it right? Oh man, the United States is in trillions of debt. Yeah, so they didn't say everybody in the United States is in trillions and trillions of debt. They said the United States as a whole, as one. Oh God, that's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing the hashtag you're the Bitcoin. Moratorium ends in June 30th. Us has made the whole world into slaves. Oh, the U.S. has made the whole world into slaves. Yes. There are a chain of dates this year. There is. You know what I got? You know what I noticed, Andre? I got to pay attention to the end dates of things. When the moratorium stops, when I've been focused only on the student loan one. I just think they're going to push everything back to December. It sounds like that's what they're going to do because come June, they're not going to be able to afford anything. Nothing's going to change in June, right? That means they would, if they did that, they would lose summer money, because people are dying to get out. And if you do that in June, that's going to hurt a lot of money. So I think they're going to push that to December, let them get in all their holidays, that'll even let them get to Christmas. And then they say, okay, everything's going to start back in January of 21. This will make slaves believe that they have the whole year to get everything they want to get and buy and stuff like that. Then they'll worry about it come September. Yeah, it's better to know when it starts. Like if you pay attention and you got money and you know when it's going to start, you know exactly what to do to make money. That's all. And you'll pay attention to things. Like I always say, I'm telling people right now, whatever city you live in, just pay attention to how many storage facilities are going up. There's so many going up. Why is that? They just becoming popular? Well, why? Because it's about to be a housing market crash, and slaves need to put their stuff somewhere. I'm at work today trying to get out of debt. House project. Yep, you're at their work. That's a conscious slave getting out of debt. 3 generations of slaves. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. You're right. It's going to be about 3 generations. Subprime, and that's what I mean. Subprime landlords are out of here. You guys got a subprime mortgage on your rental properties? You guys are out of here. See ya. Anybody asking you to buy a house or get some property, the first question you ask them, what type of mortgage do you have? If they have an FHA mortgage, you better not listen to them. Those guys are going to be the first ones out of that house. They're going to be the first ones. Yes, it was. It's worldwide. Now, I have to program my brain to think worldwide. I have to. My mind is so stuck on the United States. You guys have no idea. And I don't even really realize it. I know the world exists, but I don't I don't think about it. I have to pay attention to all worldly dates happening in every country. What are they doing there? What date are they going to stop doing something they're going to allow the people to do? You got to pay attention to all that shit because we're all connected. Vince says, strangely enough, lower income people are more successful in paying off their mortgage. You know what I found working with clients? People, and this is what people in debt don't know, especially the ones with bad credit. Okay. Especially the ones with bad credit. You guys are closer to zero than the people with good credit. The people with high credit scores, they're in the deepest of debt. The people with the fancy degrees, those guys are in the deepest of debt, the deepest. I've noticed people are so focused in on themselves, believing that the only way you're anybody financially is that you have a good credit score. None of that is true. No, that's not true. People with bad credit are just a few $1,000s away from freedom. People with good credit scores are hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And that's student loan debt, which is the worst debt, which is debt you cannot bankrupt. And you got hundreds of thousands of dollars in it, and you're financing cars. Those guys are fooling you on social media. I guarantee you, there's a lot of people on social media with hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt, and they're financing cars, and you guys think they're rich. Those are going to be the first people to lose their houses. Anybody with a subprime mortgage and you got a student loan, your student loan's older than your subprime mortgage, you guys are out of there. See ya. You're out. And then when it crashes, if you're still in your subprime mortgage after the crash, and then you see your house depreciate, and you're going to be writing that check every single month that listen, you're going to be writing a check to the bank that what you're writing in that check is not going to be worth what the house is. Oh, that's got to be the worst feeling, to pay on something that it's not worth paying on, and there's not anything you can do about it. Nothing but pay it. Ooh, that's got to be the worst. Oh, you writing that check? You got a $400,000 house. Now you know it's worth $200,000, and you're still writing the same check, and it's still going up. Every 6 months, your monthly payment is higher. That's got to be horrible. That's a true slave. Oh, you're paying for something that is not worth what you're. Oh my God. Have you noticed all the cars on the highway with their stuff in it? No, I'm not really on the road that much. Yeah, the name says it all. You're right. Now, hey, Andre, now I understand your name. I understand. I understand your name now. Okay. All right. International minded. You know how much more financial knowledge I'm about to gain? You guys have no idea by focusing on, because math is universal. It doesn't matter where it's at. It's always the same. That's going to be exciting when I make those connections. Okay. More business outside the U.S. than in, especially Asia, better demographics for growth. Yep, it's because they think they can buy anything because their credit score is good. Exactly. That's exactly what they want to think. Let me say Southeast Asia, that is, not all of Asia. Is demographically good. Al says, I know a girl making $13 an hour who took a picture with her brand new Jeep Wrangler. I laughed. $13 an hour with a brand new Jeep Wrangler. Have you guys noticed that they're deferring They have new car deals where they're deferring your payments, your first 90 days payments, because they know you're broke. You're probably thinking, "Oh, I don't have to pay the first 3 months." Well, yeah, but on the other end, you're going to be paying. But I'm sure car loans are front loaded. I'm sure they must be front loaded. They have to be front loaded. Just like mortgages, the percentage of people paying off a 30-year mortgage has got to be just low. It got to be low. I got to Google that. Have you anybody? Slaves don't even know to Google that. What is the percentage rate of people actually paying off their mortgage? Slaves don't Google. You think Google gets that question a lot? No, Google don't get that question a lot. I promise you. Donovan says, I had to do a deed in lieu of foreclosure 2 years ago, and I am thinking the Lord I got rid of it then. Oh, thanking the Lord that I got rid of it. Yeah. Yeah, I got to start thinking about money internationally. I am actually restricting myself when I only think about US currency, because I remember when I first, like, when I married my second wife. She was Canadian, right? She was Greek or something like that, right? And she exposed me to international travel. Okay. I had never traveled outside the country until I met her. That's all she did. She just liked to save her money, save it up for the vacation time for a month, and then she would just go and spend it all on this vacation, right? But it was always somewhere out of the country, right? And so once I came across her, I got exposed to Mexico, Cuba, Dominican Republic. I've been to Australia. And when you go outside the country, it's really not all about the United States of America, right? It's weird. You think that because when you're here, you think everybody wants to come here, right? You think everybody, oh, this is the land of everything and blah blah blah. Everybody wants to come here, and then you go outside the country, and then you see some people there. Like, no, that's not true. I don't want to go there. I don't want to live there. I like where I live. And first I was kind of not startled, but just kind of like, okay. And now where I'm at today, I realize I needed that exposure to understand what I know today. So if that was the case when I was in debt, but I went physically out and experienced outside the country. So what am I going to be exposed to once I open my mind to international finances? Everything's connected. I don't care where it's at, because it's all connected. I look up on Google just now, 38% of people have paid off mortgages out of the 25%. About 25% are under 65 years old. Okay. 38% of people have paid off mortgages. So that means everybody else, and these numbers are, understand this, I believe it's way less than 38%. Okay. That's just my belief. I think they're just being modest, because if they say like this, and this is just my opinion, if they put down 10% of people that would have paid off mortgages, that would kind of wake up slaves. They would be like, whoa, wait a minute. You mean 90 of us have mortgages? They would kind of wake up. But if you throw in a number, 38%, they would say, oh, that's about 40. So that means about 60. And then they would start justifying in their brain, oh, I guess that's average. Okay, whatever. That's, even with those numbers, that's over 50%. If you opened a business and was taking a 50% loss every month, you'd be like, holy shit, you would wake up, right? But when you say these numbers, people look at, oh, it's just 60. That's over 50%. That's a lot. By the time 99% of people pay off mortgages, they have to sell their home to pay their nursing home care. Sure do. So 75% of people over 65 years old. Mm. Yes, sir. That's why they don't say it the way you say it, Wayne. See the way you said it? They don't say it that way because slaves would see that and they'd be like, whoa, wait a minute. But if you say it the other way, it's the same way. It's even really, it's worse. I don't know. But as soon as they say it, they're just like, oh, that's not really blah, blah, blah. Oh, Dave says, I'm curious to know if that paid off mortgage stat includes people who took out second mortgages. That's true too. There's so many factors that go into it. But if we just stick to people that actually, regardless of how many times they refinance their house, the very victory of paying off your house, no matter how you did it, a paid off house, that's a victory. That's you have just achieved something that millions of people have not, a paid off house. All you got to do is Google it. How much in mortgage debt? Trillions. How many people are that? Millions. You pay your house off, you've automatically done something that millions of people don't know about. There it is. There's the proof. Who cares if millions of people are calling themselves homeowners with mortgages? Who cares math doesn't care what they think. If you have a paid off house, math says you're a homeowner, not them. Those homes include mobile and max. Oh, see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? You got to know the whole thing. Oh, where'd you guys get those stats from? What's in those stats? What are you talking about? If you read it and come up with your own geographic whatever in your head, that's your problem. SOBC says, I moved to London, but run back to the States after 6 months. I couldn't do it. Everything is small. The weather is bad. Train was too expensive. You know, every time I see like London videos, it reminds me of Seattle, Washington. This is why I left Seattle, Washington, because I got tired of the rain and the clouds. You need that natural vitamin D. Okay, I knew my body needed it. I knew I needed it. When I went to Hawaii, I could feel it. When I went to Mexico, I could feel it. I was like, man, I like this too. It's good. It's good to my skin and everything. Living in Seattle, man, I had to go. So LJ, you think we're going to love the Rockefeller? What are you saying? LJ, do you think you're going to the Rockefeller Times? I'm not sure what you're meaning by that, Gabriel. And condos. Okay. All right. I get it. Oh, man. See what I'm saying, man? Oh, sounds worse. You're right. They can't have that. They cannot have that, E-Man. They can't have that. Cannot have that. Sure is, man. I was born in Seattle. I didn't leave till age 49, man. I live in South Carolina now. It's always sunny. Always sunny. I just wake up, sun's there. I want some vitamin D. I go out and take a walk, suck it all in, man. Just lovely. Foreign nationals, Asians who have children going to college here. Sure do. To learn about our money. To learn how the United States does money. That makes total sense. Because you already know about the money where you live. Go to school in another country, not only will you learn the language, you learn their economic system, how it works. And then you take those two and then you put them together and see how they work together. And then the Asians just kill it. You better believe the Asians, they trust math 100% when it comes to money. You better believe that. When you get out of the debt matrix, And I look at Asian people, it's crystal clear. It's crystal clear why they have money. Crystal clear. There's no secret. They just trust mathematics, and they know not to be in debt, not to owe anybody. How you gonna make money and be in debt? That makes absolutely no mathematical sense. And now you see it. It's like, oh shit. That's why you got those big buildings and all these. I got it. Got it. Not only do we understand your money, we understand our money. While you just understand your money. Mm. Had I known any of this when I was in my 20s, you guys don't even get it. You don't even get it, man. My bad. You think we're all going to live in the era like Rockefellers? No. Whoever's era to be rich at that time was their era. You right now is yours. Like the other day, I was driving. Me and my girl was driving somewhere, and down the highway, and off the highway was this. You could see this nice gate, and this house that's set way in the back. First, you see all this land, and then you see this beautiful house sitting all the way in the back. Okay. I look at this house, and I don't look at it like, oh, whoever owns that house must be rich. I look at that house like whoever owns that house knows. And they've been knowing for a very long time. I'm sure it's been passed down through their families. You can only own a house like that looks like this particular one. That's generations. You can see it. You can see that the house is generationally owned. That's crystal clear. And I looked, not that even saying that I want that house. I'm just saying that you can just tell it's from people that know. You just know. Seattle, Detroit, Buffalo have some of the gloomiest skies. People complain about seasonal depression there a lot. Sure do, Wayne. You're right. I look up the article that Stat came from, and they said 54% of the people are low income. Look at see how the whole statistic is breaking down now. That's why I believe people in debt are in the 90%. I think it's like 98% of people are in debt. That's what I believe. Income under 25,000. So yeah, it probably included mobile homes, etc. It had to. If they're making that much money, it had to include mobile homes. It had to. They got the formula. They sure do. They got it. Basic arithmetic. This is all it is. Basic arithmetic. That's all. No math needed. Everybody had a calculator on the phone. Everybody. And think about it. When was the last time you opened up your calculator app? Really think about that. I use mine all the time. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. I use it all the time because I don't want to even have to use my brain power when I got my phone here to use when I do tips at restaurants. I break out my calculator. I want to figure that out. Equal. Write it down. That's it. This is never going to be wrong. So as long as I know the numbers to put in here, it's never going to be wrong. As long as I put the numbers in there right. So any questions? We're about to end this. About 2 hours in now. I ain't going 3 hours again. That is no. So if there's no questions, we're going to go ahead and end this today's Q&A Sundays. Yeah, they said Seattle has a high suicide rate, and I don't think people really look at the vitamin D aspect, because if you believe that you can get the same vitamin D in a pill compared to the sun, that's something wrong. You can put the sun in a pill? No, you can't. There's nothing like vitamin D from the sun. There's no substitute. There is no substitute. The sun is the sun. When I wake up and I can see the sun coming through my curtains, that just brightens my day, man. When I look out and know when I open the curtains it's going to be sunny outside, I can't really explain that to you. Damn near every day. Oh, is he? I didn't know he was. I don't really follow sports, but I didn't know he was trying to leave Seattle. Now, don't get me wrong. It's Seattle is beautiful on a sunny day. When it's sunny, the air is crisp and clear. There's no humidity. Uh, but if you're working, and I think back now, and I think about some of the days, I remember when it would be sunny on a weekday. And the only time I got to really feel the sun in the summer is when it's coming up in the morning when I'm going to work. I get to feel it. I got to feel it at lunch. But by the time I got off, I probably only had a few hours of sun left. About 5 o'clock, the sun's starting to go down. So you got about maybe an hour or two of sun, and an hour of that is going to be sitting in traffic. Okay, when you're sitting in traffic and the sun's coming through the window and it's sitting on you, the sun is irritating. You're using the visor, you're trying to block it because you're not getting it the way you should be getting it. Now, if you was on the beach and the sun was beaming on you the same way it was in traffic, you have your shirt off, laying on the beach, sunglasses on, you'll be soaking it up. But it's irritating to you when you're sitting in traffic. It's not the sun, it's your situation. You're in debt. All right, you guys, about to wrap this up. You guys have a wonderful Sunday. Until next time. All right, later.